Hello everyone and welcome back to Defense of the Australians Autumn 2014. This is game number 3 between Team S and Thy Alphas, and this is the first round. This is the first game 3 that we've had so far in the tournament. Both teams are playing extremely well. I'm Zalaf, I'm joined by Dawn. Quite excited to get into game number 3.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. You see the standard bans coming out again. They're letting this invoker through, so they're really scared of the Emperor Spirit and the Naga. I'm expecting to. I'm surprised. I'm really surprised the Tinker didn't get banned out. And honestly, I'm expecting Alphas to pick it up here.
5 seconds remaining.
Well, it's interesting because in both games that the Tinker was picked up, it's worked extremely well for whichever team picked it up. Centaur gets picked up by Thy Alphas this time around, and it worked extremely well for them first game. Ali played an exceptionally well Centaur, was able to get a Blink Dagger within 8 minutes. So this could be something similar to game number 1, where they just go for the very early aggression and try and take control as soon as possible.
Yeah, so Centaur it was banned out last game. Probably the reason we didn't see it. Now, are we going to see something like the Dazzle come out?
Yeah, it's.
I don't think I want to let Team S get it.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think Dazzle has proven his worth so far in all of these games as well. Certainly a very strong support hero at the moment.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. They're just taking their time thinking about what they want to pick. Maybe they're not too sure about the lineup they want to run yet. They obviously see the invoke coming out, so I don't know.
It's going to be interesting. They're taking their time, but I guess they just want to potentially come up with a few different strategies, or if they say, well, what if we pick this and then they pick this, what are we going to counter with and all that sort of stuff. And they're actually going to go for Lion. Interesting. So they're not going to go with that Dazzle, and that actually opens up Team S to pick up the Dazzle, and it won't be a bad choice considering Lion is all about burst, and the Shallow Grave can shut that down.
Yeah, you're definitely right about the Shallow Grave interaction with the burstiness, especially coming out from the Centaur Warmer as well. It's like, I'm surprised they pick up Lion this early. I kind of think they could have gone for one of the more traditionals, and there you go, there's the Dazzle. No surprise at all.
Quite curious to see what Team S decide to ban out here though. There's still quite a few popular heroes such as that Mirana and Shadow Shaman left in the pool, and that's something that Thy Alphas, either of those heroes is something that Thy Alphas can consider.
Yeah, so we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see what I think here. Hopefully, these bans will give us a bit of an indication as to what they're actually planning.
Yeah, it's both of these lineups still pretty open. Invoker, we've said that he will most likely be mid in the early phases of the draft twice now, and both times he's been in the solo bot lane.
Yeah, definitely. No, I'm interested to see if Thy Alphas choose to run an aggro trial lane again. They've got the makings for it with the Centaur and the Lion. Last time they gave Centaur, they put Centaur in one of those high core roles. They let him get a lot of farms, and it paid off really well for him. So if they can do the same thing again here, it would be very interesting. I think they definitely wanted the Centaur. I'm surprised Team S let it through. They're obviously more scared of the AA than they are of the Centaur.
Yeah, and they did ban out the Templar Assassin. It worked well for Thy Alphas in game number 1. They don't want to see something similar. And there's a Tinker. Wasn't picked up in the first round, so it's going to get banned out here in the second. And not too surprising. It was so powerful in game number 1, and just as powerful in if not more powerful in game number 2, where we saw him hit 34k net worth, something around there by the end of the game.
Yeah, it was just disgusting. Again, I'm not the least bit surprised to see it banned out here. So we'll just have to see what they do. I mean, as you said, the drafts are very open, and Team S wisely banning out the TA with the combination that Thy Alphas had it on had it going with the Centaur Warrunner.
Yep, it's well, we'll see what happens. This Centaur there was a little bit of support help with him in the first game, and it showed that they can put a lot of that pressure on. Because they don't have Dazzle this time, I don't think they can go for those early tier 1 tower kills as they were doing in game number 1, unless they pick up something like a Shadow Shaman and get levels up on him quickly. We do see TMS banning out the Spectre though. Once again, they banned this out in game number 1, and they don't really want to see this in play at all, so they're just banning it out in game number 3 as well.
Yeah, 2 bans on Spectre so far, and I've said before, the Spectre ultimate synergizes very well with the Centaur ultimate, the Stampede, of course, affecting, I'm pretty sure it affects those illusions. Don't quote me on that though, but it's just a very strong hero, and it allows a lot of mobility for the rest of the team. I mean, with Centaur online, you've got the makeups of a very strong 4 protect 1 strategy there, and Spectre really complements that. So I'm interested to see if Dialpha is going to go into like a Morphling or something like that, something else that can effectively farm by himself yet still have a presence in the team fights.
We saw a very effective Morphling game number 1. Um, it wasn't actually played by the Alphas, it was played by Team S, but it is something that the Alphas might be considering. We've seen quite a bit of Morphling play so far in this season, so we can't really ever rule it out. Still Mirana in the pool, quite common. Same with Shadow Shaman, and there's the Morphling banned out, so we'll see what the Alphas pick up here.
Yeah, well, neither team's really revealing what they're going to go in terms of their carries so far. So hopefully, at least in this phase of picks, it'll give us a more clear picture of what they're looking at. And right now, I really wouldn't be surprised to see them go with the aggro tri-lane again on the Centaur, because that did just work so well for them.
Yeah, that's a very excellent point there. We'll see what happens. The Alphas, as we said, this is still just the second phase of picks, so very open drafts from both sides here. You can't really predict too much because both of these teams have played very unconventional, and there's a Disruptor being picked up by the Alphas. Seen a lot of Disruptor play this tournament as well, and this might mean that they plan to go for a little bit more wombo combo with those last 2 picks.
Yeah, well, it's smart to pick the Disruptor in the first picks of the second phase, because it means unless they counter pick you, it's going to let you get at least one other big team fight here. Now, are we going to see like an Enigma here? Maybe even a... No, I wouldn't expect to see the Darks here. But yeah, I mean, maybe that Enigma, possibly even... I don't know. If you're the Alphas right now, what do you pick against this... What do you pick against the... what is going to be assumed an Invoker mid?
10 seconds.
Well, you could go for the Viper like they did last game. The Viper did really well. There's still, of course, the Park in play. They go for something like that. So they've got a few options in that regard. But they're actually going to pick up a Weaver here, which will most likely be their position 1, their hard carry.
Yeah, so we're probably going to see the Weaver. Actually, well, they can run it either ways. They could put the Weaver in a safe lane with the Lion and the Disruptor. That's very effective. Ensures the farm on the Weaver. Lets him get that Midas, assuming he wants to go for it. But it also means he can very effectively farm the safe lane by himself and send Lion, Centaur, and Disruptor down for an aggro try against whatever we're going to see coming out from Team S. Now, I'm not sure if they're going to put maybe Bat Rider in the off lane. You see a lot of Bat Rider off lane in professional games in the EU and Western scene. But we haven't seen a Bat Rider offlane so far in this tournament, and we're still waiting for a carry from Team S. So I'm sure we're going to see the Alphas is going to be banning out the Faceless Void.
I quite like the Rubik pick as well here from Team S. There's quite a few good abilities already to steal from the side of the Alphas. I mean, anything you steal from Lion, except for maybe the Mana Drain, is incredibly useful. Even the Mana Drain has its uses, particularly on the Rubik, who can then just steal some mana off some creeps and just continue to spam his Telekinesis and Fade Bolt. But Disruptor, several abilities that are quite easy to steal. And Weaver, of course, if you can steal a Shikuchi, it can be just as annoying.
Yeah, Shikuchi's definitely one of the best things. Well, not obviously not one of the best things you get on Rubik, but it makes him really, really annoying. And for the strengths of the Rubik pick, it's going to give them a lot of early lockdown against the Weaver, which is something they lack at the moment because they're not going to have the lasso until level 6. Invoker's not really going to be able to do much, so they need something to be able to hold that Weaver in place if they want to get some early kills on him, which they're definitely going to want to do. But so now we're going to see the Alphas picking what we're assuming is going to be that mid hero. Wouldn't be the least bit surprised to see the puck that you've been calling here, because it is going to synergize well with the Disruptor and the Lion.
That is very true, and we'll see what they decide to do. It could be a mid line. I mean, it doesn't really happen, but it does mean that Lion should get a quick level 6 as long as he doesn't get killed off, which is, of course, which can happen. It doesn't really have too many escapes, but there might be something. Both of these teams have played some really. Yeah, it's a Dragonite, so that's probably going to be a Dragonite mid, most likely. But yeah, both of these teams have played some really unconventional styles so far.
Yeah, as you're saying about the Lion mid, obviously we're not going to see it here this game. It's going to be the Dragon Knight in that mid lane, but Lion mid is really effective. You farm up the quick blink dagger, and you can really start wrecking people. And if you get the level advantage, that finger of, I mean, the finger of death hurts a lot more when you're more level than they are. And once you get to level 11, I mean, if they're still seeing around level 8, they've got squishy heroes on the side, 4 into again on the side of Team S. So
5
we'll just see where they
seconds.
go. I feel they need some tankability.
Reserve
Yeah, we'll
time.
see what exactly they decide to pick up. Last game didn't exactly, they had full in heroes and they still did fine, so who knows? I can't really predict too much here from Team S. They've certainly mixed things up a little bit.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that, though. One thing going for Team S at the moment is whether it's the Bat Rider or the Invoker in the mid lane, they're going to have a good time against the Dragon Knight, because Dragon Knight, he's a solid hero. He's always reliable. I mean, he's got that great start at level 1, but he will get harassed off the lane. So if he's going to perform well, we're going to need to see some rotations from Lion and Disruptor. And if they do rotate, it's going to be very easy for them to get a kill on either the Invoker or the Bat Rider, because I mean they have a lot of stuns. They've got the Glimpse to set it up. They can just go in with the Dragon Knight stun. So hopefully, and you see a Shadow Fiend. So wow, these teams really favouring the alternate drafts.
Hmm. You really don't see these sort of heroes very often.
It just makes me. Well, I'm sure it's going to be in Bat Rider. Oh, actually, no. To be honest, man, they could go anywhere where they want. It's like Shadow Fiend can easily go on that safe lane role, farm up fast.
Very true. I'm just trying to. It looks like it's going to be an Invoker in the offlane, or at least in the solo, one of the solo side lanes. Potentially even in the safe lane, like we saw in game number 1.
10
And
seconds remaining.
yeah, that's what it looks like from
5
Team S, and
seconds remaining.
Dragon Knight obviously in the mid for the alphas.
Alrighty, so we're going to get into it now. Players have picked all the thing. This Disruptor, this is another Disruptor with like a very nice set. I mean, I just love this T-Rex that he's got.
Prepare for battle.
It's got some nice armor as well, some faceplate looking thing.
Yeah, that's one of the coolest Disruptor sets there is. I really like it. And we're going to see Batrider's picking up a fast boost. He's going straight to the off lanes. Obviously, he wants to get this ward out, and obviously, like with the boots pickup, that almost ensures that he will be taking the off lane role, which is Batrider is very capable of doing. Now we're going to see, we're going to see the aggro tri lane again with the Centaur, Disruptor, and the Lion. So not bad at all. And the Weaver safe lane farming. So Bat Rider's not going to have as hard a time up here as he might think he's going to have just against the Weaver. In that matchup, I'm not sure how I'd really give the edge to. I mean, the Bat Rider really can get kills on the Weaver if he gets enough stacks of that sticky napalm, because the Shikuchi, it's great for escape. It allows you to move very fast, but until you get like level 3 and 4, it's like you can't overestimate the cooldown on that.
Yeah, and we do have currently just a base keep sitting in his mid lane. Jimmy is just going to put the ward down and then move off to help out in the bottom. We will
Might see
have,
some aggression here at bot. Yeah, here we go. They're going to go on to
Oh.
Kaya.
well, if they can reach him. Glimpse is there, but it's not in range.
Yeah, that's the problem with level 1 glimpse. It really doesn't last far. But the Invoker's actually going to come back in for the last hit. Now they're just going to end up backing off. That's a waste of smoke. Bit of gold going down the drain. They did get the ward out, but that's really all they're going to achieve.
Yeah, it's going to be a mid lane Shadow Fiend. It's not going to be in the carry lane or anything like that. And that does mean it's going to be a safe lane Invoker, as we saw in game number 1 and game number 2.
Yeah, so we'll just see where they go with it. Can they achieve as much as they did in the aggressive trial as they did last time? They got some very decent blocks going for the moment. There's a DD room at the top, which TMS do see, but they're just going to leave it alone at the moment.
Yeah, I don't think anyone really wants to go for it at the moment, especially with all these creeps in the river at the moment, for example, in mid. And
Yeah.
oh, it looks like we've got a bit of a jump
Kaya
in
at bot.
bot.
But he's holding on to that stop for a long time. He had the shallow grave, he did skill, but they might get a return kill on the centaur here. In fact, they probably are going to. Yeah, okay, so Glimpse back, but it's not actually going to achieve much. And now Disruptor and Lion on the run.
They will be able to back off, and still that goes in favor of the alphas because they did get the extra gold from the first blood.
Yeah, I mean, it was a centaur for a dazzle, but at this point it really doesn't matter. I mean, everyone's the same level, everyone's got the same farm, so Going well for them. I mean, the Centaur did die very hard. He held their hoof stomp for a long, long time. If he'd used it a bit early, he probably could survive. But Lion going to get lifted up now and brought back straight into it.